China is exporting to the world and has become the export engine in the world because it has mastered the low cost of production. But China is also importing more than $1 trillion of imports from all over the world. But none of our business chambers, none of our governments ever thought, how can we find some space in this more than $1 trillion import that China is making? Because we continue to be a political nation in our outlook. We did not recognize the economic changes. In 21st century, the world does not meet anymore in CENTO, Baghdad Pact, or non-aligned movement summit meetings. Today, the action takes place in G7 and G20. And when a country sits in G7 and G20, nobody asks that country, what is your political system? They ask them, what is your per capita income and what is the size of your GDP? It is the economic muscle that qualifies today countries to join the elite group in the world. That transformation, as I was mentioning, was first recognized by Mr. Deng Xiaoping, one of my favorite leaders. And he said that to uphold socialism, we must eliminate poverty. Poverty is not socialism. I think that is what we must also learn, that all the ideals we cherish are hollow and meaningless if we are an underdeveloped country or a poor country. Then he gave a new way to his people. He said, as long as cat catches the mice, it does not matter whether it is black or white. We all need to work harder. We need to borrow principles that can make us prosperous. And socialism-based economy is one that brings prosperity for our people. Anything that does not lift us out of poverty is not socialism. So, a very clear vision of Mr. Deng Xiaoping laid foundation for New China. And today, President Xi is taking that economic revolution to next level and making it a revolution which China is sharing with the other countries in shape of Belt and Road Initiative. So, ladies and gentlemen, we also have a choice to make today. In English, they say, either you keep doing what you are doing and you keep getting what you are getting. If you want to stop getting what you are getting, you have to stop doing what you are doing. We have to learn from China how China, with its political stability, how China, with its social solidarity and harmony, and how China, with pursuit of its economic policies and vision, has become a success story in the world. And CPEC, for the first time, offers an opportunity to Pakistan to join China in a community of shared destiny and prosperity, in the words of President Xi. When President Xi came here, he said that we want to set up with Pakistan a community of shared destiny. Now, this is a very powerful phrase. You do not have a community of shared destiny with strangers. जो साझेदारी है, ये भाइयों के दरमियान होती है, जो खुशी गमी का साथ होता है, जो एक अपनी किस्मत किसी के साथ आप शेयर करते हैं. And it was a very powerful message, and this is the spirit of CPEC, that for the first time we are bringing the dimension of economic cooperation in Pakistan-China friendship that we should have done decades ago. But as they say, better late than never. Ladies and gentlemen, China has proven that it is the most trusted friend of Pakistan. In 2013, when we started CPEC journey, Pakistan desperately needed foreign investment. We were facing 18 to 20 hours of power shortages. There was not enough electricity to even recharge batteries in UPS systems. The standby generators we used to run would not recharge batteries because there was not even 2 hours continued supply of power. At that time, international media was writing about Pakistan, that Pakistan has gone back to stone ages. It is burning candles to light. Security situation was so deplorable that not a day would go when we did not have some terrible incident in any part of the country. Karachi, the economic engine of Pakistan, had virtually fallen hostage to the crime mafias. And every economic player in Karachi was thinking of relocating their business, and if not their business, their residence, their home. Economic meltdown had reached a point that stock exchange had crashed to 19,000 points. And there was a pressure on country's reserves which had dropped to about $8 billion. And many pundits globally were visualizing that Pakistan would go bankrupt in 2014. So this is the context we must remember in which CPEC was started. And when we started CPEC, within 1 year, we were able to forge an understanding on $46 billion worth of projects between China and Pakistan to be launched in September 2014 during the visit of President Xi. But again, we were a political nation, and there were political events in the country that led to postponement of that visit, and no one can ever imagine the loss of 8 months that had to take place. Had we done that launch in September 2014, we would be 8 months ahead on implementation of CPEC, and that would be a great advantage to Pakistan. But finally, in April 2015, the historic visit of President Xi took place, and $46 billion worth of MOUs were signed. That brought a new identity and new image to Pakistan. Before April 2015, the world and the Western media used to call Pakistan safe haven for terrorist networks. But after President Xi's visit, the same international media, whether Wall Street Journal, Bloomberg, Economist, Financial Times, Reuters, they were all calling Pakistan safe haven for billions of dollars of Chinese investment. It was a paradigm shift for Pakistan. And what also China did, it showed to the world that who is real friend. A friend is not one who puts a big security premium on a country by reading the headlines in the newspapers or by watching the stories on CNN. A friend and brother is one who knows that there can be temporary patches of bad weather, but I have confidence in the climate of Pakistan, Pakistan's economic climate. Climate is more permanent. Weathers sometimes do have bad patches, but they also go. So China demonstrated through CPEC that it has faith and confidence in the economy of Pakistan, and it is willing to become a major partner in modernizing Pakistan's economy. And that gesture, Pakistani nation will never forget. That while others were walking away, that while others were shying away, the government and people of China came to Pakistan's rescue and announced to the world that here is Pakistan, we have confidence in Pakistan, and we are coming forward to invest billions of dollars in Pakistan because we think that Pakistan is not a risky country, it is a safe country. So we will always be indebted for that great gesture that China has made. Ladies and gentlemen, from there on, within 2 years of signing of $46 billion of MOUs, I'm happy to say that so far more than $27 billion worth of investment has been energized. It is either under act implementation on ground or its financing has been secured. This is again one of the great success stories of recent times, that within such a short period of time we have so much investment mobilized between any two countries. CPEC has identified 4 areas: energy, Gwadar port development, infrastructure and industrial cooperation. And we started on this for the first phase of CPEC projects, but then simultaneously we started working on a long-term framework, because the first phase of CPEC was primarily targeted at fixing Pakistan's immediate problems. And what were Pakistan's immediate problems? That in last 14 years, no worthwhile investment had taken place in energy or in infrastructure. So both energy and infrastructure had become bottlenecks for economic growth. Without removing these bottlenecks, there was no chance that we could attain 6 to 8% growth rate that we desperately need with very young population. We need to produce at least 2 million jobs every year in order to keep our young people busy. Otherwise, there will be a spring revolution in every spring.